Imagine 3 days of football live on Citi 97.3. That's what match week 7 of the Premier League serves you right here. Welcome to our preview exclusive to Citi TV. Nathan Kwao here, and Rahman Osman joins me. And today, Rahman, you are in a Manchester City kit.
Yeah, because of the big game.
It's Spurs welcoming Manchester City. A lot of people have said that Pep Guardiola's men have looked unstoppable. People are waiting for the first test that they will get. Could Spurs provide that first test? That game is on Sunday at the White Hart Lane. And Man City have a knack of going there to do very, very well.
Yeah, and it's first against second, isn't it? City are first, Spurs are second. And yes, a lot of people keep hitting on the fact that who can stop Manchester City. Maybe Spurs, but Celtic showed the way in midweek that even though the City train is very fast, it could be stopped. They conceded 3 goals. Spurs will be without their key man, that is Harry Kane. He's out with an injury. But South Korean international Song continues to dominate the headlines. He was again playing very well in midweek when they went to Moscow and won. And so he will be very key. Janssen, for me, one of the highly underrated signings of the season. He's doing very well and working very hard in the middle of the park. Undoubtedly one of the tests for Pep Guardiola, especially going to White Hart Lane. And in the last 2 years, for me, Spurs have been the most consistent English team. And this will tell us if indeed Pep can go on 7 winning streak in the English Premier League. We understand that it's a very, very hard task, especially if you rope in the fact that the English game is the most competitive in the world.
Extremely demanding. We'll see. For Harry Kane, you mentioned Harry Kane, and it's interesting how Spurs have looked without him. They seem to look a bit more fluid. Yes, he was part of the team that won 4 at Stoke a few weekends ago, but Son looks like a man who is on a mission, a man who wants to fight and get a place in this team. We'll see. But for Man City, Aguero is back, and that means that there's a high chance they will get goals in this game.
Well, Aguero has scored a lot of goals already this particular season, but City's play is more about the system than the individuals who make the system. But I guess one thing is always in their favor, the ability to create a lot of chances.
Okay.
They've created more than any other team in Europe this season. That tells you how well they are playing, especially on the attack. The big question is how they're able to defend. Now, Spurs have got arguably one of the best defense in the English Championship already. So if you don't have a Spurs player in your fantasy league, you've got to start thinking and tweaking.
That backline looks good. Kyle Walker,
Rose. Players that have really understood the art of defending. And Mauricio Pochettino, for me, is one of the highly underrated coaches also. He understood the game. And a couple of signings have made them very, very solid. And that's what makes this one a very fascinating watch.
We'll see how that one plays out. So Manchester City traveling to North London to face Tottenham Hotspur. But man, let's go back and let's look at that Friday night game. There's Everton and Palace, and it's a showdown between 2 strikers who know each other very well. Romelu Lukaku, Christian Benteke, both of them play for the same country, Belgium.
Well, TV rights, they say these days is eating up our football. Now we have Friday night games and all that. This is the first time in 2 decades that Everton will be playing in a Friday night game. And so it's obviously something different. But for me, the buy of the season has been Ronnie Koeman. Very, very good coach.
He's changed Everton. They look very different.
Under Martinez, they were a bit exciting to watch because of his understanding and philosophy about football. But Ronnie Koeman has made them very difficult to score against. He's brought in Ashley Williams, who for me is doing very well. Phil Jagielka, one of the guys from England that can actually defend and all that. And going forward, he's done one thing, and that is Romelu Lukaku, keeping him. He's scored 3 times already this season, but they all came in one game. He's got to find his scoring boot if they are to really punch above their weight. Lukaku got the all-important winning game when Crystal Palace came from behind to beat Sunderland. I get the feeling that he will enjoy his...
Benteke.
Yes. I mean, he scored the winning goal against Sunderland. I think he would enjoy his football. You know why? Because Paddy's teams play from the wide.
Very direct. Just cross the ball and he will head it in.
And if you saw the goal against Sunderland, it was a typical Benteke strike. Zonal marking not done very well. He comes from behind and he heads with a lot of power. Not maybe direction, but once there's power and it's on the same wavelength, it's always difficult to stop. I agree with you. it will be decided by these two focal points.
So Ronnie Koeman will hope that his Everton side can recover from that very bad episode at Bournemouth. They created chances, but they were just a few meters away from getting winners, and they didn't look like the team that had gone on to beat everybody since the start of the season. But we've got other games on Ameni Rahman. There's Hull City versus Chelsea, and for Chelsea, they quickly want to respond to that horror show at Arsenal the other weekend.
It's a very tricky game, I must say. Chelsea have lost their last 2 games to Liverpool, and then when they played against Arsenal, they really looked very poor defensively. We understand the big man, the Russian, wants to dip his hands into his pocket again and sign top-class defenders. It's been an art. I certainly think that Chelsea will not be the Chelsea of yesteryears because of their defending, but coming up against a very wounded Hull side, it should be very, very interesting to watch. Hull City, remember, were thumbed by Liverpool over the weekend, so they'll be looking for a response. Having said that, they were excellent in their first 3 games. It will test us and tell us how good Chelsea are, because they say good teams, or a team is good not because they do not lose, but the way they react when they lose. So we'll see how Chelsea are able to put the psychological effect of losing 2 games on the spin. And trust me, Antonio Conte has never been in a situation like this since 2009.
This is very new.
And for some people who are already writing him off, some people say he's the Italian David Moyes. We'll see, he'll prove it, and then we'll see if indeed he's still good. But for me, my money is out on Chelsea to respond.
So Hull City will take on Chelsea. In other games, there's Swansea welcoming Liverpool in a very fantastic encounter that will happen at the Liberty Stadium. There's Manchester United, who start of our games on Sunday. They are at home to struggling Stoke City, and on Monday night is Burnley again, this time not against Watford but against Arsene Wenger's soldiers. Fresh from doing well in the Champions League, can Arsenal go to Turf Moor and get a win, or Burnley will continue winning at home just like they did against Liverpool and on Watford on our last episode of Monday Night Football that happened a few days ago? That's our preview for today. Join us this weekend. We've got games on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, and on Monday night is Burnley taking on Arsenal. So give us your predictions, drop them below in the comment section. Of course, like, comment, and share. My name is Nathan Carr. Rawan Osman joined me is in the preview ahead of match week 7 in the Premier League live on Citi 97.3, on air, online, and on Citi TV.